Okay, see this? This is a medium resistance band. Don't worry about the color. They're all companies make it differently. You just want a medium resistant. You don't want too heavy, but you don't want too light unless you have an injury in a joint. If a joint's acting up, then go very light. But a little resistance goes a long way. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to use my free weights, and I'm going to use my balance pad because I have it. I remember to bring it up here. And I have my hound dog that's right here. Okay, so we're good to go as long as that hound dog stays right there. Okay, here we go. Right here, see that? We're gonna start with this. I have my thumbs in here. Not my hand, my thumbs. Because I don't want a lot of resistance. See, if I go and put your hands in here, that's a little too much. I want to focus here. I have my balance pad, I have my weights, I have my chair. So a chair is always a given. But I'm just going to put my thumbs right here. See that? I can't pull very hard, but you know what I can do? I can go side to side, and I'm going to start this. See this? I'm going to take this simple move right here. As I'm pulling gently, I just keep it. I don't pull. I really want you to have your thumbs here, but I don't want you to pull necessarily. I just want there to be resistance. See that? Now, if I were with you right now in your room, I would stand behind you, and I would say straighten your arms and drop your shoulders. You almost have to bend your elbow a tiny bit. You soften it. So my shoulders are down, and I'm just keeping a resistance. I'm not pulling. But do you see this little shuffle that I'm doing here? The shifting? Number one, pull your toes forward. Because some of you are doing this, and you're focused on your shoulders, so you lose focus on your foot. And some of us have some real challenges with placing our foot down. Okay? Pull that toe forward. Soften the knee. Keep this taut. Don't pull, but drop your shoulders. When you drop your shoulders really pronounced, you're going to notice the urge to bend your elbows. Don't bend them a lot, but soften them. Okay, now see this shifting that I'm doing, this out and in shifting? See my little pad here? Yeah. When I do this, I'm going to step into this now. And I'm going to bring that foot back. So you now, instead of just going side to side, not thinking about what's the position of my foot, now I got to think about it because I'm going to step up 2 inches. And then I'm going to bring my foot in. And if you stepped up and you turned your toe out, well, don't. Pull your toe forward, okay? Drop the shoulders. Bring this right to here. See this? This is still taut. And then I come down and I shift down. So yeah, I have to pull my toe up. Surprise, surprise. Do you know that dropping your toe while you're walking, ambulating, stepping up, stepping down, keep this taut. That means you've got to keep your shoulders down. You got to keep your tummy tight. When I step down and I come back, it's this move right here. You got to pull that toe up. And when you pull that toe up, come all the way over to the middle so you can bring that leg in. So it's amazing all the little moves that you have to adjust just to step up and pull that foot in. See that? So my knees are soft now. I'm going to pull that toe up and go all the way to the middle of the pad, the balance pad. Keep this taut. See how my hands are open? Keep your shoulders down. Keep your tummy tight. See, step down, step down. I don't know about you, but when you actually do this, you have to think about what you're doing with your toes, with your feet. And would most everybody have to do that? Yes. However, if you had knee replacements, hip replacements, if you've had significant ankle or foot problems, this becomes quite an exercise that you have to think about. And you notice one thing, I'm not going fast, but I'm keeping this taut. See how I'm just keeping it taut? Shoulders down, tight tummy, breathing in through the nose, okay? Drop your shoulders. You're gonna put this foot right in the middle, and then you're gonna come up. So in order to do that repeatedly, you gotta pull that toe up. You gotta innervate the tibialis anterior muscles. And I'm putting this one in here because I know good and well that Kathy loves this one. I know that she loves this one. That's why I want you to put a balance pad in the middle of your room. Just put it right in the middle of your room, and every time you walk through, just step up on it and do this little move. Now, I'm only doing it one way right now, okay? And here's what I want you to notice. You should be noticing that things are really turning on through your elbow, your forearm, and your thumb. Everything around that thumb. The other thing you should notice is when you step into the middle here and you fight for your balance, if you don't glance down once in a while, you will drift. And when you drift and you step without looking, you see how I'm doing this? I'm hip hinging and I'm glancing down. I'm not hanging my neck out in order to look down. I'm keeping my chin tucked. As I step, I glance with my hip hinge. That makes me not round and round my shoulders and hang my head out here. That's like hanging a 7 to 8 pound bowling ball off and thinking you're not going to have a problem with your neck. Okay? So release this now, bring it up. You're going to be feeling this right in through here and right in through here. No resistance, just keep it taut. Keep your shoulders down. Take a breath. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to go this way. Okay? No, so here I am. I'm going to do this. Remember, I started there. Here's this. Now, for this side, I'm going to put my whole hand in there. See that? See that? Bring it down and bring it up. Again, I'm not really pulling anything. I'm not pushing. What am I doing? I'm keeping this taut because it reacts to my shoulders. So if you are someone that is constantly going, I don't want to be a round shouldered, walking around person, this right here is one of your little tricks to not do that. So do your shifting. We have to do our shifting, and then we start stepping in with this outside leg. So see the shift? Get the hands right. Drop them straight down, okay? Down here. Keep it taut. And now you're just keeping it taut with your hands in the palm together position. Now drop your shoulders. When you drop your shoulders, you're going to soften your elbow just a tiny bit. Now start softening the knees, okay? Softening the knees, softening the knees. Keep your shoulders down. Glance down with your eyes. Just dart your eyes. You don't hang your head out in order to see where you're going. You see people doing this all the time. That's not what you want to do. You hip hinge. You glance, and you're fine. So we're going to do this just a couple more times, and then we're going to start stepping onto that pad. And why am I doing side to side? Because this kind of abduction and adduction with the hip is Extremely important. And we don't do it generally. We're walking around forward and backward, which is good, but we don't do this a lot. That's why I want you to keep your toes forward. Don't be turning them out, because that's our first thing that we want to do. Okay, you ready? So we've done this now. Now we're going to get closer, and we're going to step up and into the pad. And we're going to bring that toe in. I want you to actually bring the toe up and in. Okay? And then come down. So it's going to be stepping up and in and down and down. And this stays here. Drop your shoulders. Take a breath through your nose. Boom. Back down. And now when I'm stepping, my knees are soft. And I want you to kind of get on the edge when you bring that toe in, because I want you to fight for that balance. That's changing your brain. It's changing your vestibular functioning. It's changing your ankle position. It's changing a lot of stuff. Just doing this. Okay? This little move is one of the key moves of why people fall. Okay? Because we haven't trained and kept training our movement skills to be able to handle an out of control situation without your hands flying around. That's why I have your hands here. Drop your shoulders, tuck your chin, take a breath through your nose, soften up, step sideways, step in, step sideways, step down. You gotta bring that toe up. Yeah, and this is locked in. So again, for anybody with compromised joints and compromised back issues, okay, foot issues, this becomes a big deal. This move right here. Take a breath. If you think you're drifting, then you hip hinge and you dart your eyes and you see where you're placing that foot. And if you haven't noticed yet, you will notice if you do this repeatedly, rhythmically, you're going to notice your foot is going to start, your ankle, the lower leg, okay, it's going to start feeling like it's woke up because you're doing a move repeatedly that you got to get stronger at. And smooth. You want this to be a smooth ambulation to the side step, to the side step. This is a really good way to start warming up your joints, keeping constant pressure here. Now release. Bring them down and start doing this little thing right here where we're just fanning. See the fanning motion? Okay, we're just fanning, 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 and I'm going to step back now. Why am I taking the time to do all these kind of steps? Number one, it is going to make you think about your foot position, and you just drop, and you come back, and you just drop, and you come back, and you drop, and you come back. So when I'm doing it I'm not going into a lunge. I'm stepping back and I'm pushing my knee until I feel the stretch through my heel cords. So this move that I'm doing right now, doing it correctly, and this move that we just did, this one, repeatedly, between those two moves, if I had you sign me a promissory note, this is all keeping lined up, of course, that you would do this move along with the move I just spent several minutes doing. See this? I don't know if you can see it. My knee is bending, but my heel is not coming up. The only thing that really makes this work is if you keep your feet forward. Don't be turning your foot out like a duck. Mostly because we're not a duck. We want to go back. And we want to push that knee down until you feel the back heel cords talking to you. A little. This is done repeatedly. I'm not holding on to it. See, I did the other one. See that? And I bent the knee, kept my heel down until I feel the heel cords talking to me. Then I come up. So what are we gonna do with our hands now? I'm gonna drop my shoulders, drop my chin, step back, bend the knee, get my heel down, settle down right into there. You can feel it, okay? And then I step back up and I change. Well, with my hands, now I'm gonna put just a tiny bit of pull. So I'm gonna grab it now. I'm going to bring my elbows here to my hips. When the elbows are at my hips, I'm going to pull my shoulders back against this resistance. See this? So I'm putting a little bit of pressure right here. But here's the key thing. The elbow has to stay on your waist, has to stay there. Don't do this like this. That's not what I'm wanting you to do. I'm wanting you to settle in. Don't turn your wrists. They stay neutral. Okay? Elbows are right here at my waist, my hip bones. I'm going to step back and I'm going to drop the shoulders down and I'm pulling my shoulders together while I step back. So take a deep breath, step back, keep your elbow right here at the hip bones, drop the shoulders, and then pull those shoulders together while you're bending right here. Then you step in, switch, and I'm not just hanging out here. I'm going to go to where I feel the heel cords start to talk. Then I'm going to come back up. Then I'm going to correct. Drop the shoulders, tighten. The wrists stay neutral. Elbows are at my hip bones. And then look at my shoulders. This is what I want to see. If I came into your room right now, I would have you get in this position, take a big breath through your nose, that chin tucked, and then look at my shoulder. You see that? That's what I want to see. That kind of drop, pull the shoulder blades in. As I'm stepping back and I'm bending my knee, bending my knee, bending my knee, drop the shoulders, don't let the chin jut out. And then I come back and I release, and you go here. See, you release. Big breath. Step back, get the arms in position, drop the shoulders. Now pull your hands apart, but your shoulder blades are going in together. Then I come back, and then I do it again. And I may do this once I get the posture correctly. Mechanics good, toes are straight, drop my shoulder, bring my chin in, bring the wrist to neutral, pull the shoulder blades together, really pull the shoulder blades together. Count just 1, 2, then come back up out of it. That one right there, alongside this one. And remember what I did to prep you for just that little step? It was this. You're swinging. You're swinging in and out. Abduction, abduction. Just easy. Okay? Then I went from this to this, where I wanted you to bring the whole foot up. Yeah. And I did both sides. Then we went back and addressed the tight heel cords. Boom. Pull the shoulder blades in. Come back. This is taunt. It's not pulling hard, but a little. Step back. Put the heel down, bend the knee. Woo! Right there. Those two. I'm telling you, your whole foot and ankle, all the way up, is going to benefit from that little sequence. Okay? All right. Now I'm going to bring my hands right to here. Just right to here. When you do this, okay, you have it right here. When you bring this right here under your chin, just under your chin. If I came in right now to any of your room, first thing I would look at is this wrist, okay? Then I would look at if you dropped your shoulders, don't go up here. That's a mistake for you to do in this one. So I'm gripping it. I'm bringing it under my chin. I'm making sure that I'm not taking my wrist out of neutral. This is neutral, okay? And I want to drop my elbows just a little bit. See, it's right here. So I'm pulling and I'm dropping my shoulders. At the same time now, instead of going into the heel, what I'm going to do is bring my leg up and tap it into that soft surface with my toe. Come back off of it, okay? I'm going to bring it up, tap into it with my toe. I'm going to push pretty hard, okay? So I've got to bring the toe up, and now I've got to come into it. And I'm keeping my heel off the pillow, off the balance pad. I am stepping into it with my toe box, okay? This is gonna help address weakness all the way around the knee without hurting the knee and get the heel up. And now I'm starting that calf pump. But it's a move that anybody with knee or hip replacements can do. But here's what you gotta do. Keep your heel up, don't let it touch the pad. Push hard into the pad, and you can still keep your balance because I'm not having you do a one-legged stance per se, but it kind of is one, but you're balancing. So always, always have your chair where you can reach out and just put your hand on the chair if you need to, on a wall, on a bed, on a counter. So here we go. This comes up. Don't turn your wrists, tight tummy, and right now, you gotta drop those shoulders, okay? Drop the elbows a tiny bit. So I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna stomp into the middle of the balance pad, as if I'm trying to smash like a cockroach right there. See that? I know, that's just the first bug that came to mind. Here we go. Here we go. Tight tummy, drop your shoulders. You gotta drop your shoulders. Okay? And then you come back. Keep the heel up. Drop the shoulders again. Take a breath. Keep this right here. Don't mess around with that wrist. So stomp that bug right there in the middle of the pad. Drop your shoulders. Drop your elbows. That's fine. Don't come up too high. That's what's going to kick up a shoulder issue. I want you to get the shoulder girdle muscles moving, not injure your joint. You got to drop those elbows a tiny bit. I'm right here, pulling in, stomping right in the middle. Drop my shoulders again. And see, all of this you can do with a tea towel, a little stretchy band, which is very easy to travel with, a balance pad, or a pillow. You know, who knows? It's supposed to be pillow, or is it supposed to be pillow? Depends on where you're from.
Winda, Yella.
Takes less energy.
My dad says that.
Okay, see how I'm pushing hard into my toes? My toes are splayed. So whether you have a shoe on or not, if you can't open those toes up, you gotta somehow figure out a shoe wear that you can open up those toes. Okay, and see how I'm pushing in? Yeah, my knee is going out over the toe, but it's very controlled. Okay, just keep stomping on that bug right there. Drop your shoulders, get that chin down, okay? And then come back. And how long do you do that? Until you feel it talking to you. Not in the knee, but it's above the knee. It's in the calf. That's when you quit. So I'm trying to get you to use body position, your own body weight, and how you do it is creating the load. Okay, I hope this is making sense to you. Drop the shoulders. See how I'm pushing into the toe? I'm getting my heel up. Okay, here I am. Here I am. Drop those shoulders. Pull the tummy in. Really pull the shoulders in. Yeah, keep them down. See, just open the toes up, press, 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 press. Then come back. So you should start feeling it in the calf. Now, if you've had a hip replaced or a knee replaced, it's gonna feel different. You know, one you're gonna feel firing and one you may not feel firing. Do the motion, try to correct your mechanics, and might take a little longer because of all the nerves that get cut and all the muscles that get messed with in that replacement process. It takes you gotta go at it a little different, but you will get to where you will start to strengthen that calf muscle. It's crucial. So this is my hip one. I'm telling you, it takes a lot more work and specific lined up work to get that calf to fire, okay? And this is my hip replacement. You would think it would be on the knee, but it's not. This is my knee replacement. Drop my shoulders, tighten tummy, and I'm opening those toes, and I'm pressing hard, and I'm pulling the shoulders down and back. Breath, take a breath, push into that splayed toe, and then come back, okay? Very important move to do on these little balance pads. So now I'm gonna just take it and move with it. I still have my little band, and I'm gonna step, and I'm gonna step. Do you see that? Step and step. If you put this little pad in the middle of your room, where you either have to walk around it, or you have to hear my voice saying, step on that thing, just step on it. Step on it, hesitate for a second, step over. Your foot is still there. When you go to step back, you gotta think about it. Now let me show you a scenario that we're going to. Change your leg, just, it's there in the middle of the room. Drop your shoulders, take a breath, glance your eyes, step up and over, soften the joints. Now you gotta go back. And for some of you, the minute I said you gotta go back, you had that little tiny flicker of anxiousness because you've fallen before. Yeah, and you have compromised joints. And this move becomes very halting and scary because you have fallen. So I'm saying, here's my safety net. If I need it, I'll use it, but I don't want to use it if I don't need it. So I'm going to do this again a couple of times. Do it 3 times. Just say you can do that 3 times. If you're walking through a room and you're busy doing stuff, and you're like, I don't care what she says, I gotta do this, I don't want to step on that stupid pad. Step on the stupid pad, okay? Just do it. And come back over. My kids are laughing at me now. Okay, drop your shoulders. Here I go. See, I'm swinging up and over. The trick here, y'all, I'm telling you, you gotta keep your knee soft, okay? When you come to here, don't go straight if you feel like you're losing your balance. That's what we always do, unless you've been trained. So soften up, hip hinge, soften the knee, up and over. Keep the knee soft and up and over. And if you need to hold a chair, hold a chair. So drop your shoulders, here we go, up and over. And another thing about foot placement, when you're coming up and over, open your toes. If you can't open your toes in the shoe that you're wearing, you gotta go to a different kind of shoe, okay? Open those toes. Now go into the foot. We already practiced that, right? Go into the front of the foot, I should say. Okay, and open the toes, come up and over. And you do it very slowly. You don't do it jerkingly. And you're gonna get off, you're gonna get off. That's the point of why I want you to work on this. We've lost the ability to pull ourselves out of a falling situation. And that's why we fall so much. If a kid gets off, well, they just bounce right back. We don't bounce so easy. See, I changed feet. I don't know if you noticed that. change feet. I'm gonna come up and over, okay? Because we're prepping for our weight training moves to come up. So here I am. I'm gonna go to the front of the foot with my toes open, shoulders down, tight tummy, keep my chin tucked. I'm gonna bring the knee up and come down. Got that? That's how I want you to practice it. And if you've had knees and hips replaced, this little simple move becomes a much bigger deal. You want to be able to do this move with weight, which we're going to do, or without weight. And some of us need to do this several times through the days, through the weeks, so that we don't shake all over the place. Our knee wobbles, our ankle wobbles. I don't want that wobbling. I want it to be strong and sure. This kind of ambulation up over, and you're going to get off balance. That's why you have your safety net, a wall, a chair. Check your balance. This is one of the best ways to check your balance and to see how you're doing in a real moving situation. Okay, we're doing a one-legged stance, which is the very first thing that somebody will tell you to do if you want to improve your balance. Because you got to get strong, number one, and then you got to take it on the road. You got to move with it. Okay, so I'm going to step down. I'm going to do the other leg a couple times, and then you guessed it, we're going to pick up weights. Drop your shoulders. So when you pick up weights and you go and you try to stomp that bug, yeah, you got more weight behind you. You can really smash it. Take a big breath. Keep the knee soft. Here I come up, and here I come down. And you can add arm movement. Here's one of my last notes on this particular movement pattern. Many of you didn't realize you were doing it, but as soon as you step down, you're turning your toe out, okay? And you're saying, how did I know that? Because that's what slides do. That's what we do. We just aren't thinking about it. So I'm talking to myself. See this? This is a very functional, very important move for stability. This right here. So when you feel out of balance, you feel like you're going to a fall, this is the first thing you do so that you can roll if you do hit the ground. That's the first thing Doris told me. Some of you know Doris. She fell off, stepping up off of a curb. And she was in Florida. She was on vacation. Now she's 90-some, okay? And first thing she told me when I was asking her about, she goes, I rolled. I softened up and I turned my shoulder down and rolled. So she didn't break anything. See what I'm doing? Yeah, stay into the front foot, but it's gonna rock and roll all over the place. That ankle, you want to strengthen that ankle, just have this pillow in the middle of the room and just step up and over it, both legs a couple times. It will really help your strength come into that lower leg, especially the ankle. Okay, interset right now, interset, recovery. Here we go. What are we doing? We're gonna do a pivot. See? See how I turn the knee? So I'm pivoting around that forefront, the forefoot, okay? Right there, boom, right there. See that? Then just let your arms go. So anytime you take a break, because you're feeling tight, maybe tighten your back, tighten your wherever tight. Okay, when you turn around that toe, turn that whole knee so that it's going down here. Okay, so this is not hard, but what you want to do is get to where you can go ahead and look behind you. So tight tummy, drop your shoulders, and slap. Right there on your hips, just slap. Drop your shoulders, take a look behind you. Do it 6 times. You know, do it 10 times. Take a big breath. Here we go. Turn, turn, boom. Look behind you. Make eye contact with an immovable object behind you. So this is the trainer's tip. When you're doing this kind of rotating, you might get dizzy. Focus. I told you this, I think, the other day. I've told you this before. You got to focus on something that's not moving. Just for a second or two. And it will help you a ton. Okay, we do that. And now we're gonna do a hip mobility work. So I'm gonna step into and sit down on my chair. See this? And here's a tip I'm gonna give you for, I'm gonna use my weights first sitting in the chair. So that's one of the things that you've got to think about when you're sitting in a chair and you're doing any exercises. You can see me, I'm gonna do some arm work sitting here. Then I'm gonna do my leg work standing up because it's really focusing on lower body. Everything I did up until this time was trying to be ready for this. So as I'm sitting here in my little chair, number one, I want my feet wide. Okay, turn out a little bit. And if your knees turn out a little bit, you gotta put your knee over the toe. That's number one. You might think that's, well, of course you do. No, not of course, because the minute I have somebody come forward, guess what they do with their knees? They either go out further or they cave in. So open a little wider, toes go out, knees go in line with that open toe. When you hip hinge forward, how far you say? Well, how far can you go without bending your back? Or I mean, flexing it. I should say that. You want there to be a bend, but you want it to be very extended, going toward extension. So when I'm down here and my back is an extension and I'm hip hinging, man, I start to feel stretches in my groin. Yes, that's what we want. So keep those knees over the toe, come down, and I have my wrist here for a reason, okay? Because that's gonna anchor my shoulders, okay? So elbows are pulling in, shoulders are down, come forward, all bets are off, and you're done if I'm standing there and I feel your back start to round. Then you're done, okay? So only go as far as you can and keep your back very extended. And then you start pushing it. You don't just hang out there, you move, okay? This is one of the best preps of hip, all the hip joint, so that you can actually get down into the floor and back up. You start here, but you gotta do it correctly, okay? So as I put my wrist right here, my forearm right here on my knee, A, I'm pushing out, okay? So it keeps the knees going out. B, my shoulders are dropping. And C, I keep my back very extended and I go a little tiny bit further and then I come back, okay? And then I go all the way back and I touch my shoulders to the chair. This is tight, but this allows me to go back out. I don't bend my back. First thing I see young people do, and this is not just kids that haven't been trained. I saw it with one of my young students. He's a young man. The first thing they do when they get in the car is this. It's the first thing I see. I'm like, you're killing me. You're making yourself so much weaker every time you do that. And this is an athletic, tough guy. I'm like, strengthen your core. Just go, if you want to lean back, go like that. Put a pillow under here if you want to rest a little bit. But keep it extended. So when you're in your car seat, think about that, okay? So keeping these open, here I am. I'm gonna go a little further, a little further, a little further. Do not bend that back, do not flex it. Keep your chin tucked, drop your chin down, then come back and go touch. This should be working. Then you come right to here. Big breath. Elbows push all the way down a little more. And then come back. Touch. Keep your chin tucked. Breath. Drop through shoulders. Boom. Push. Come a little bit further. I'm telling you, if you do this progression, oh my goodness, your hips and your lower back, it will really work toward pain-free moving. This is why I'm taking the time to go through this whole sequential movements. Shh. Here we go. Pushing those elbows out. Drop. Come down. All the way down. Keep your shoulders down. Now come up. And go touch. This should be activated. Okay? This is right there. All right. We've done that. Now we're on the chair without a pad. So now I'm gonna go ahead and rotate that hip. We've done this many times, but I'm doing it before we get started on the weights, because I'm gonna address arms in the chair, and then I'm gonna address the lower body using this pad and weights. But first of all, I want to flex those toes. Get it close to the chair. Sit right on the edge of the chair. Use your chair if you need to so you don't fall off on the floor. Keep your knee down. Toes are very flexed. And then pull yourself back as you push the knee down. That is going to start a chain of events where it's just a great stretch for this front leg. Then you come back off of it, okay? Then you turn and you do the other side. So toes are flexed. Don't let this knee be out there waving at people. You want it pointed down. Right to the edge, hang on. Now, push yourself back as far as you can. I can't go back nearly as far on this side because this is my knee replacement side. But let me tell you, I am getting a stretch like you cannot believe right later. Woo. Really pushing, really pushing, really pushing, really pushing, really pushing. Back, 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 back. Big breath, big breath, big breath. Come back off of that. Nice. So this is a move from side. So I wanted to do it pronounced to side. And just do this. Get to where you can do this on a real flow. See that? Just like that. Ribcage up. Breath. Whoa. This is the first step in doing hip mobility. You can do it from a chair. Get those ankles rocking and rolling. See how I go from the toe, then I go to the heel, to the toe. See this? This is an important move. Drop your shoulders, ribcage up, big breath. Get to where you can just go on this, okay? Great. All right, my weights are right here. I'm sitting here. I'm gonna be standing again in just a moment, and I'm gonna do some of the same moves on this pad that I did, but I'm gonna have weights, pretty heavy weights, okay? So, all the stuff I've done until now is to kind of get you prepped and ready. We didn't do a ton of like walking and stuff like that. I did functional movement related moves to get you warmed up. So I'm going to come down here, and I've done a lot of work with my shoulder mobility, a lot of different things like that with the band. I got it warmed up and ready to go. Remember that? So now I'm going to pick up a 9. I'm going to pick up a 9. You pick up something that is a little beyond light. That would be how I describe that. Now, I'm coming off of somehow kicking up a shoulder in the move, moving stuff in, moving stuff out, dealing with hound dog, you know, different movement patterns. Kicked up my shoulder issue. So you have to get the inflammation down. So now I'm not going to go hit it full force. So I'm picking up a 9 here, and I'm picking up a 6 here, okay? That's how you come off of having an issue, having a setback. You just go lighter. You just don't keep putting weight on something that's already been chewed up, okay? So now I'm gonna come right here, thank you, and I'm gonna lean forward. You see how important it is for you to get the hip hinge? So now I'm taking my weights and I'm letting it pull me down. I have to do a hip hinge with a very flat back. Absolutely have to do that. Keep my chin tucked, and I'm gonna pull, and then I'm gonna come back up. So I not only get my arm, I get my shoulder, my upper back muscles, and now from right here, if I can maintain a very extended back, I use my abdominal muscles and my back muscles to pull myself upright. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back down. I'm gonna really shine my tail lights right here. Okay, drop your shoulders. Those are two essential moves. Okay, now tighten your tummy, breath. And you're gonna go pull, you're coming all the way up, and then you're opening. See that? So by sitting, being seated, and dropping positional, correct positional move, bring them up, and then open. Now I'm using my hand weights to innervate back, deep back muscles without hurting them. So shine your tail lights, big hip hinge, keep your chin tucked, breath, exhale, and go back. Now they kind of go together. So I'm gonna go pull, start the action, then pull back. So it's a pull with the arms, then it's a pull with your back. Back is very extended. Keep your chin tucked, breath, pull, pull. So it's a two-step. Here we go, pull, shoulder blades in, pull, back and stomach. Here we go, pull and pull. And again, this is 9, this is 6, because of my shoulder issue. I'm not gonna put full force on it yet. I'll get there, as long as it stays settled down. Take a breath. Okay, hip hinge first. I went over that hip hinge ad nauseum for a reason. Here we go. Pushing into your heels, breath, exhale, exhale. See that? Here we go. Exhale, pull, exhale, pull. Breathe in. Here we go. Keep your chin tucked. Exhale, exhale. Got it? Here we go. Heels, exhale, exhale. 2 more. Here we go. Hip hinge, exhale, exhale. And when you pull your shoulders, when you pull your arms up, you don't see what I'm doing, but I'm trying to talk you through it. You pull the shoulder blades in, and then you pull up, and then you pull up. Okay? So it has to do with your upper back a lot, and your shoulder girdle. It's not just about your arms. Okay? Here we go. I said 2, I think. Pull, pull. Yeah? Okay. I think that was it. Take a big breath. Now we're going to go right to the back of the arms. Yeah, now. So now that we've innervated the shoulders and the back muscles, upper back muscles, see they're in here because we already did it, and we know how to hip hinge. Keep my chin tucked, and now I'm just going to open the elbow, but I'm keeping my elbow at my hip bones right there. See? So keep your chin tucked, breath, exhale, drop your shoulders. Here we go. Drop your shoulders, exhale. Push into the heels, drop your shoulders, exhale. Breath, drop your shoulders, exhale. Bring it back, drop your shoulders, breath, exhale, back. Here we go, drop your shoulders, exhale. Drop your shoulders, exhale. Now we're gonna hold them back there this time. Exhale, right there. And just go pulse, pulse, keep your shoulders down and rolled together in the back. Push, push, push. That's all back arm muscle right there. Yeah, triceps. Push, 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 and then come back, okay? Now I'm gonna turn them around and do some bicep pulls, just a few, and then I'm going right into a heavier weight, and we're gonna do some of those moves in the leg range, okay? So I'm gonna turn around, I'm gonna come forward, I'm just gonna go pull. I'm gonna stay in, pull. Then I'm gonna come up, pull. Breath, pull. Breath, big pull. Adjust your weights however you need to make it a pretty good pull, okay? So if you're good with your shoulders, you want to put a little bit of weight on there, but watch what I'm doing through the hip. See that? My back is very extended. I'm doing a little pull, a little bend forward from the hip, and then back with the move, just like that. I don't want to overload this recovering arm, but I'm feeling a pretty good pull over here. But if you want more, sure, do more. Big breath, pull. Big breath, pull. Big breath, pull. 2 more, pull. And pull, okay? Now I'm gonna put this down. Now, as we're heading out, we're gonna do our heaviest weights. I'm not gonna be using this to pull with, it's gonna be stability. So guess what? I'm gonna go very heavy on both. Okay, I'm not hurting my shoulder, make sure, but I'm gonna go pretty heavy. So I'm doing 15 and 15. Okay, I'm just gonna hang on to these right here. See that? Now, if you are a little scared to put your foot into an unstable surface because you have things in your hands now, you can't put your hand on anything, okay? Go a little lighter, that's fine. Or do this whole move just on the floor. That would be perfectly fine. Okie dokie. Okay, so you do what you want to. You can go on the floor, step, step, bend, step, bend, step, bend. Remember that one? Okay, I'll do it with the other one. See, I'm on the floor. Step, drop. You just drop that back knee. And then step, drop. Okay, now I've got 30 pounds added to my own body weight. Okay, the biggest requirement is that you stay on balance. So if you need to stay on the floor to do this, that's fine. Okay, so here I go. I'm going to go step. Remember this? So open the toes, soften up, do a hip hinge. You're going to step over, and then you're going to step back. And you're going to go over, toe, heel, over, toe, heel. Drop your shoulders, tighten your tummy. Let the weight go into your fingertips. Let the weight go into your fingertips because your hands will get very, very tired. And that's okay. If you want to push your grip strength, that's fine. You can bring them up into your palm, do 1 step over, and then let them go to your fingertips. But if you're feeling iffy, don't put your foot on this balance pad, okay? Everybody thinks it looks so easy, and then they find themselves on the floor. Take a big breath, drop your shoulders, breath, breath, stepping up and over, stepping up and over. Now, in this one now, I'm gonna stay right here, and I'm gonna step back. See how I'm stepping back? Now I wanna push those muscles. Bring it up, breath, exhale. Breath through the nose, exhale. See, I'm just doing little lunges. Not going all the way down, but I'm going down as far as I feel I can with control, and I'm just hanging out as low as I can go until I feel those muscles talking right there. They're just like talking French. and come back. Do it one more. Drop your shoulders, breath. See, just push, 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 push. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Come back. Step in. Rest if you need to. Put the weights down if you need to. But I'm going to push right on. So I'm going to go right here. My foot is in the middle. Open up the toes. I'm going to step back. I know I haven't stepped over yet, but I'm going to step back. I'm going to do the hard one first. Okay? So step back, bend that knee, come down, and come back. So your shoulders have to be down, rib cage up, take a breath, go down with that knee as far as you can. Don't round the back. This should all be leg muscles. This is gonna really hit the leg muscles. If you're not strong anywhere else, work on your leg muscles, okay? That's what we're doing now. But we did a lot of prep work. Adductors, abductors, smoothing out our stepping over and back. Because when you have joints replaced, your whole world's a little different, okay? So that's what I'm here doing, it a little different. So here I am under my pulse, drop your shoulders, tight tummy, breathe, hold it. Your muscles should be screaming right now. Yeah, screaming, stay on balance, drop your shoulders, breath, and come back. Put that heel down, step off. Okay, that same leg, you step up and over, toe up and over, toe into the heel, 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 step off. Big breath. Now, last one. See, I have my carries here. I'm not hurting my arm, dropping my shoulders. I'm just gonna step over. I'm just gonna walk around like I'm carrying 2 buckets, okay? 2 buckets of whatever. I'm gonna step up and over. And do you see what I'm doing to make sure I'm stepping? I'm not doing this. I'm hip hinging a tiny bit. And I'm glancing with my chin tucked as I step around. Because if you keep doing this all day to see where you're going, this is just like putting a bowling ball right here on top of your neck and you get all that strain all day. So in order to see where you're going, I'm trying to teach you a different technique today. Do a tiny hip hinge with your tummy tight, tiny, see, tiny. Now glance your eyes. You can see very well where you're going. You don't have to do this, okay? So stepping over and back, walking around with your weight as heavy as you can manage it. See, I'm just gonna turn around and go back. Do it just 5 times. Do it through the day when you come in that room. I'm gonna step wide, hip hinge, back is flat. This down. Make sure I bring it up to 18. Open my hands. Whew, we are right at time. And just stop the same way you started. Little fans, little turns. Get yourself ready to roll. You're going to have a much better day just because you went through this. I know some of those moves seems like, oh, that's not hard enough. I need to do something harder. Yeah, well, I'll talk to you after you do that. Anyway, it hurt me more than you. It really did. Okay. Oh,